Dear viewers, my guest today is the superstar of Kannada cinema. In his own words, he had the privilege to touch a lot of Indian languages, major languages at that. He is a recognized face all over the country. He is none other than Mr. Vishnuvardhan. A very warm welcome.
Thank you.
Nowadays, most people try to see you as a philosopher than an actor, because you seem to have really grown from an actor who probably inspired people to somebody who has been speaking so much about life. Is the transformation that naturally happens, or is it something that just happens to anybody at your stage?
I think it is a stage of metamorphosis, an experience, as you said. Mature enough to realize that there is a lot of things to learn in life. Like this is a stage wherein I'm enjoying. I can't say I'm a philosopher. I'm trying to analyze life and learn. It's a learning process.
But are you afraid of people branding that, the moment you look at life in a different way, people call you a philosopher? The moment you act a certain role, people call you an angry young man. Don't you think that it's always the fear of getting branded?
No fear. I have accepted everything, because certain things gives an inner happiness. And what phase I'm going through, it is definitely making me learn and make me happy.
Okay. But you yourself have commented on some occasions that, acting in movies and people recognizing you in a certain image is a little tiring after some time. That you would also like to be true to yourself, or be actually identified with your true image, that whatever that you're born as, or you have grown up as. Is that actually, that's a private thought, or you've actually come to a point where you think that...
No, I've enjoyed since the things have happened in my life.
Okay.
Even profession also happened to me, because
Okay.
I was well prepared.
Okay.
It was just, to me, a film, it was just like I wanted to see what is film industry through a film.
Okay.
I never expected I'm going to be there for all these years. So I think there is some sort of strength, a love, which has made me move rather. It is not me who is moving. There are certain things which is making me move, walk, face, see, enjoy, experience, everything. And I'm really grateful to the Almighty who has made me what I am today. I was never prepared myself.
Okay.
I was being made with so many people, so many strengths, so many objects, so many souls.
But you were interested in music when you were young. You used to play the tabla. And you used to be interested in a lot of other cultural and
that
artistic
has come
activities.
from my hereditary, because I have come from an artistic family.
Okay.
I think from my childhood, I have listened to music, I have listened to rhythm. All this played a vital role for my profession, I think.
But you used to do a lot of things, like, you were into music, but you were also into cricket, you were such a good friend, you were very, very naughty as a very young boy. But like that, you did a lot of things, and you thought movies were also going to be just one of the things.
All this happened mostly in the films, whatever is the preparation or whatever I was, it helped me in my profession another way.
Okay. And for instance, when you acted in Nagara and when you were named Vishnuvardhan, from a name like Sampath Kumar to Vishnuvardhan, don't you think that as an independent person that you were, like you were actually a bubbly, young, energetic fellow, suddenly changing your identity, was it acceptable to you?
Yes.
Why?
I enjoyed, because there was small dream, small ambition which I could see. And this profession made me gain everything. In abundance, I should say that.
But why was the change of name important?
Because when my Guruji, Puttanaji, named me, he had a dream. Maybe he had that, that future for me, which he planned himself, I think. That happened with the name, with the film, with the role.
Did he have to take time with you to convince you or something?
No,
or it just happened like he gave the name and you accepted?
Yes. Because even I didn't know that my name is going to change. Like,
okay.
It was on the Muhurat day when he said Vishnuvardhan. So I was looking somewhere, I thought it's not me. Then he said, it's you.
Okay.
Today that's your name. I have christened you as Vishnuvardhan.
Okay.
And maybe later I asked him. Then he said why he particularly chose this name for me. Then he told, it is a name of a greatest emperor which Indian history could produce rather. Vishnuvardhana was the greatest emperor who was an art lover, an artist himself. And the third reason he gave was he was never saw defeat in his lifetime.
Oh, okay, okay.
So it have a very strong background.
Okay. But was he aware of your interest in the arts much before he
He
got to
blessed
know
me,
you?
you know. I've been, it has been a great luck, a fortunate. I don't think so any person will have that.
Okay.
You know, especially to work with the greatest director of Putana sort.
Well,
who-
many people even to this day consider Nagara to be one of the 3 or the 4 greatest commercial films ever made in Kannada
Yes,
film
yes.
industry. Do you agree with that too?
Yes, I always feel I was born with that film and I'm going to die with that film. Because that one film gave me so much, everything in life what I could ask for.
What is that you can actually remember top of the mind about that film?
From the day one.
Okay.
Because he planned everything for us, I think.
Okay.
Because he had the confidence on this subject. And it is he who made me work, who made me gain everything. You know, what all I'm today, it's all belongs to him.
But was he able to get you to see the future in some way?
Maybe he had
That,
the plan.
Like you're so confident that you know
I
there
was
was
not
future in
confident.
store?
He was confident on me.
Okay.
Because
and you
he-
could see that confidence in him?
Yes, I could see in his eyes.
And is that very important for a person to see the
Actually,
confidence in the maker?
actually, any actor
Okay.
or any artist for that matter, it's only the inspiration,
Okay.
the way they inspire. And I don't think so. That is why I think Puttanaji remains the greatest Puttanaji forever, even in the history of Indian film industry.
But even before doing Nagara that you acted in Vamshavriksha, and before that all your brothers and sisters were involved in movies in some way or the other, like doing these small children's roles or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's so much difference between doing Nagara and doing other movies. But do you really discount all that you've done before that, or your life began with the Nagara
It was very, very insignificant. Even I think afterwards I realized how much this profession demands and how much this profession is worthy about. Nowadays I think I realize, because I was never planned anything.
Oh.
When it happened for good for me, I enjoyed it. And that's what now I realize, you know, it needs a lot of hard work, a lot of patience, lot of creativity, everything is involved. Maybe nowadays, maybe when I'm maturing more, I realize this profession is definitely, it's not an easy one.
But now at least you can see a lot of youngsters coming into movies and probably doing 1 or 2 movies and sometimes disappearing and sometimes even staying on for some time. But during those days, it was just few people coming in, very few people, and those people were known to everybody, like all those people who went to the movies. But don't you think then you were extremely lucky to have got a chance?
You said the right word. The whole word, that one word what you use now, that has made me what I am today.
Okay. What do you owe it to, in the sense?
No, you say
how-
extremely lucky, yes. I
What do
don't
you
think
owe
so
it to?
any artist could be as lucky as me, with my break, with my success, with my stability, ability, whatever we say that. And if at all, you know, many times these questions I have asked myself, and I feel it has
Why
happened.
you are more lucky than others?
I don't know, maybe, you know,
Is
I've
that
been
what
born
that has set
lucky.
you thinking till date?
I've been born lucky perhaps, you know, because I never struggled hard.
Oh.
I never waited hard. You know, it happened in my life. And for this, you know, many times I only say grateful to God, because I never asked for all these things. It
Did
has
you ever-
happened for the best.
Did you ever want to become a cricketer?
Yes, I mean, cricketer means, see, I'll tell you one thing. I've always seen my profession and any sports for the matter go together.
Oh.
It have a lot of same technical terms where we
Have
say
you ever
that.
tried to bring cricket into any of your movies? Because you certainly love cricket so much and everybody knows it. Anywhere you must have told the director, why don't we just have a little bit of
Not
cricket?
in a full swing, I can say
Okay.
that. Otherwise, yes, because I've enjoyed. I think I'm the first person who could compare cricket with films, with my profession. Rather.
Oh. And you had a lot of friends, and a lot of friends were really doting on you all the time, because you know you were like a reliable friend. And even to this date, even to whatever kind of relationships you have with most of your friends, the people can still count on you, and that's what he said. That people can still come and, you know, they can probably sometimes at
See,
least have a talk with you, or you're still the same to a lot of people.
No, actually, I'm basically, if I have to define myself, I'm a very most difficult and different person. So I can't get along with everybody. Yes, but whoever have come close to me, they have remained with me for years.
Okay.
It may be my staff, it may be my relation, it may be my friends.
But
Because don't you think, friends, if you say that we have to get into Shakespeare, a friend in need is a friend indeed. Like,
Okay.
unless we don't follow
You
that.
probably must have never had a need for a friend because you saw success. There were so many people around you all the time.
No, no, film success, or in my profession success, I always say, or in my experience, I can say that a success makes you make 100 enemies, a failure make you lose 10 friends, if you take professionally.
Okay.
But luckily, I have not taken my profession home, or I have never brought my home to my profession. I have totally kept them apart.
But when you saw failure, sometimes probably there
Why
was
not?
a dip in
Why
your,
immediate? After my first film, my next film
that
was
you
a
had to
failure.
that you had to go to Madras and be there for a while?
No,
Is
no,
that
no, no.
what it is?
Because I have seen God has made me realize that success happens and failure you have to accept.
Okay.
So in my second film itself, even when film was doing successfully, my second film, third film, it all came. It could make me understand that there is always a rose and also thorn with that.
But don't you think you were too young and you didn't have much to actually see in terms of, at least now most of the youngsters who come into movies can see, there is history for them to see, like your experiences and the people who have already done like you
So
and
they
all that. But
say,
you
no,
didn't have much to see at all.
कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है. You can't have everything.
Okay.
So little I might have sacrificed, but my profession has given me so much.
Okay.
Maybe I
But
have
were you ready to,
sacrificed
for instance, like after the first movie, if you had really failed miserably, would have you quit the profession or would have you
100%.
continued?
No, I would have quit. Because film, I just wanted to see a film industry.
Okay.
That was the reason I came.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have taken any job for that matter, which is adventurous, where I am the master of my own.
When did you think that the Kannada film industry really started taking you seriously, or even the film industry in general? When did
From
they
the day
start-
one, no?
They started taking you seriously?
Yeah, because once I came with the success,
Okay.
and when I was introduced by a great personality like Putana sir,
Okay.
my guru,
Hmm.
and they know naturally, otherwise he could have not gone.
Okay.
So they expected a lot from me.
Okay.
So I started moving. But film, I have never taken it so seriously because films happened with me.
Okay.
And most of the time, with every person, the film happens. They don't realize that.
See, you've been acting with a lot of other directors also these days, but they also say that people who have acted with Mr. Putana Kanagal have this attitude that that okay, he was the greatest, that but then everybody else is not up to them. So most of the other directors might actually feel a little difficult to work with
means I
you
will
because
tell you the thing, right?
everybody cannot actually perform or have an idea or a vision like Mr. Kanagal. But
See, the thing is, why Putana was a master means he was a master in all the department. There was involvement, there was struggle, there was research,
okay.
which many of the directors they don't have. Technically they can be very, very good, but where the creativity goes, they fail.
Okay.
So he was the combination of all.
Okay.
And very few, usually they say, the only few people can be what they are. And we always, keep them as a reference,
Okay.
like an encyclopedia. Like. So you should take it as after all, he is our own man.
Mm.
Keep him as an authority to refer.
Okay.
Even outside directors.
But then why haven't other directors been able to at least follow in his footsteps to some extent?
Some people
Or
have tried.
Okay.
Some people have. Even Putana sir also faced a lot of
Okay.
debacle in the profession because it's an experiment. I always say it is prayatna, prayoga, phalitamsha.
Okay.
You take art, you take science, you take medicine.
Okay.
It's only depend upon the three major factors.
Oh. But even about you, like probably that, you must have taken inspiration because he was also in some ways like you, that you're also supposed to be a very moody person, aren't you?
All artists to an extent they are moody.
Why? Is that a privilege that a lot of artists
It's not a
take?
privilege, that's by the because many things goes in their mind, in their functioning. Because sometimes they are ahead, sometimes they are involved, sometimes something disturbs. So you can see that. So some people they try to manipulate, some people it is seen.
But you said that you're not taken your movies into your home.
Yes.
But at least to some of your close friends, they still think that you probably because of your work pressures that sometimes you're very bubbly and you're so full of energy, and at least throughout the time that they've known you.
Maybe
that
that's
you used
what
to
is
really
me.
laugh a lot and suddenly sometimes you not even talk.
That's why I think perhaps that is what me. People have accepted, I think. Because it is not deliberately any person does, I think.
Okay.
If you take personally, I realize if I have to have a vibration with a person, then I can move. Otherwise, nothing interests their profession, or I don't want to talk about my profession, my success, because I would like to have an atmosphere where I should be a learner. I should get information. I should have knowledge. I should have wisdom from other people. Usually, otherwise, when you meet in a friend circle, when you are a center of attraction, where they make you know, I go for something else, and they refer to my films, my success, which definitely makes me off. You know,
Okay.
put me off
Sometimes
otherwise.
you want people to look at you as a person.
That's all.
Who just wants to
Because
live his
I
life.
have
at
left
least-
my profession and go to them.
Okay. Once again, they bring the profession
Same
back to you. It
profession,
becomes a
and
little-
which doesn't interest me, neither them.
But don't you think that most people who actually look at you, they only look at you in terms of the movies that you made.
That's
But
what
I
makes
mean,
me
you
sometimes
cannot
a
actually
goosebump.
blame them because
It's
probably
not, I don't. So maybe that's why the change is it's seen in me, perhaps when they say I'm moody or I'm.
Okay.
Because and many times at a time 10 things comes to your mind,
Okay.
and you naturally your attention or your focus changes to them, which is become more important and most important.
Have the movies really given you a lot of pressure?
No.
In the sense, sometimes, you act in a certain movie, and if the movie doesn't show a promising success, so.
I feel for my producers.
Oh,
I feel for my co-star who really deserves
okay.
whatever they have put in the film. It may
okay.
be talent, it may be creativity, it may be money. I always felt for them.
Okay.
I always feel for them because I always feel, because I see my producers, they are rajas. Yatha raja tatha praja, they say. He should be happy because he have dream, he have investment, he have hope, he have plans.
Okay.
And we are all paid people like. He pays us. He really gives and satisfies with all the other aspects.
Okay.
So I think our prime, maybe internally, my prime importance will be my producer.
Okay.
I always feel, good for them.
Do you consider yourself an artist or a professional?
Neither both.
Because,
Because
see,
I think these are all two class words for me, because if you say artist, because it is all the reference comes from the other person, You refer to me as an artist.
Okay. No, but don't you think, particularly in Kannada film industry, that if you're not actually so savvy, business savvy, or if at all you don't have business sense, you might have more chances of failing, because it's not just about somebody becoming
the
extreme.
true person, but the true artist is always fail in the business. You take anybody for that
Okay.
matter. Because business and art doesn't go together. Even though they are the two faces of a coin, it has not gone. Because an artist's mind is always like childlike.
Oh, okay.
He craves for something else. He can be easily taken
You have to be a
granted.
continuous learner also, to be
Yes,
able to
we
act
are all-
in
we are
different
all-
roles.
we
You
are
have to
all-
observe more.
We
You
are
need
all-
more
we
time
are
to
all-
yourself.
I always say, an artist in institution, there's a classroom where all most senior artists are sitting in the front bench.
Okay.
The later one, the youngster, they come at the back. We are all in the same class.
Okay.
Because everybody is trying to do the best, learning. He faces the same problems.
Okay, but when you were young, that many people even thought that you might even you had the potential to become even a singer, because you used to sing all the time, like even the song like Apara Kirti and Jai Bharata Janya Tanujate, right? You used to sing
I was
all the
fond of
time.
singing, yeah.
But you loved singing also, and you used to sing a lot of Hindi songs. And
Yes, yes,
the Hindi actor Rajkumar was your favorite.
My favorite.
And you used to watch all his
No, I used to
movies.
imitate him.
Used to imitate
Yes,
him.
because he had a different aloof style, like.
Okay.
I think I have seen all his films. Even I was selected for Nagara when I enacted his scene for that selection.
Okay.
Because I was very fond of his dialogue delivery, his voice modulation.
Okay.
And I used to see about 18 films, all his film. I think.
Okay. But when you got this opportunity to become an actor, and when you really were an actor yourself, you could look at yourself on the big screen. What was the experience during those days?
I think small, you can call it infatuation or instinct, like, recognition, like.
Okay.
Small thing. We want somebody to notice when we used to walk in Gandhi Bazaar with our friends, and our picture has come in a paper, a photo of ours, and there used to be a little time, where we wanted to just know whoever is the person, whether they recognized you or not. Maybe, and those are the small things which is to give you immense happiness. Like,
Okay.
I think those were the things I think.
But what today do you consider the most in your life? Is it recognition? Is it fame? Is it the sense of contentment that you have? Or are you really having that kind of satisfaction in your life that probably people might expect in a person like you? Because you've seen it all, done it all.
Because whatever terms you are referring now, or you are telling me, it have a different shape and color, and it is not within a person, I think, not
Okay.
even professionally.
Okay.
The contentment or the happiness.
Okay.
It's in the word, because these things can give you happiness.
Okay.
Without these things, you can be most happy.
Okay.
So I'm in the dilemma now, because really I have to come to a term with that, whether happiness is this or there's something else.
Okay.
So I'm in the verge of my journey to know it.
But you become very spiritual these days, that you have been actually, I don't know if you've been going so much to temples or what, because your religiosity is different from being spiritual.
My temple is here.
But you also built a temple in your home, and you also have tried to understand a very different aspect of the religion that enriches you much more. And you also have been trying to, get it to percolate down to all the people around you. But does it really make you happy in the sense, is that the only way that you've been happy these days?
To a certain extent, it definitely make me happy.
That's helped you also to cool down a lot of people say.
Yes.
But at the same time, recently after your mother's death, many people say that also affected you very badly, did it?
It could have, but certain spirituality helped me
Okay.
in accepting things, to realize, to understand life,
Okay.
the pattern of life, the way of life, everything.
But a lot of people live, a lot of people see success also, but they only look at it in terms of money and wealth and other things. But to be able to think like you, but something must have actually triggered this process in you, right? Like you really have not sought power, though you have it innate in you because of the kind of popularity that you have, and so many people really are after you and behind you. What triggered this? A different direction of outlook altogether.
See, whatever you're telling, so many things even I ask myself, and I have yet to get an answer for that. But I enjoy. When usually for each person, a particular subject fascinates. And we have got Supta Prajna inside. We have Stula, Sukshma, Supta. Supta is interior. Many things we do
Okay.
unknowingly.
Okay.
But Supta makes you knowingly.
Okay.
So you have to only just concentrate. And that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
And small things give immense pleasure and happiness to you. Enjoy it.
Like some people also say that with your kind of importance in the Karnataka state, that certainly that you could make marvels in terms of inspiring people. Of course you inspire people in the movies, but people might also expect you to come out and actually, because for example it could be an auto driver, it could be a worker who might even want to change his life after listening to you. But I mean, if at all at this stage you go towards yourself, who will have to guide them?
Each person can guide themselves, I'm telling you. Only thing is, if at all I inspire them for a good cause, for good. Like I'm following somebody, let them follow me.
But do all of them know that the kind of, because they've all seen you on the screen, they've not seen you the kind of like how pious.
I'm just waiting for an opportunity to go with the truth to the people. And my doors are always open.
It can
Whatever
take a
I
longer
know,
time
little.
because you are a seeker and you believe that you don't know and you're ready to know.
Yes.
Is that the truth?
Yes.
And it might take a very long time because you cannot know unless you keep on trying, and
Yes.
that is a continuous
And
process.
whatever little I know, I can share. Small, yes, every person have a question.
Okay.
So if I know the answer, I will definitely like to solve the problem of them.
You've been acting in a lot of movies. You act in a lot of different roles also. But when you choose a role, is it something close to your beliefs, or apart from the kind of movies that you acted, even the movie from which you got this sobriquet, that is Sahasa Simha, Many people who know you also say that, he's actually such a soft-hearted person, in the sense, he can't even take anybody suffering, he can't even see anybody suffering. There probably was a time like, you would not even go to somebody else's house if they are suffering. People would think that you're actually avoiding them, whereas you really can't see it and you won't go. So is there actually this dichotomy that, you are actually very different from what people can see of you in the movies?
They know the one version. Other version also is there, no? Because who had seen? Because people have seen me. Sometimes I'm like a mirror, I feel I'm like, the way you look into me, I'm that.
Okay.
Many times I consider it is like a person looking into a mirror.
Okay.
Because before looking, always they have the a prescription of what they're in the mind like. It comes on the mirror.
Okay.
So maybe people might have seen me like that.
Okay. But for instance, like when you acted in a movie like Veerappanayaka, or it could be in Kadamba,
Yeah.
see, I mean, you would have not certainly been able to bear some situation like that if at all it were to happen in your own life. But still you are so convincing in having acted those roles.
That's what my profession demands, I think.
So you just consider yourself a fantastic actor, I'm sure.
I think the profession makes you, and I think I told you as in the beginning only that I always keep it, both things away.
Okay.
But what happens is, you sometimes react for certain issues in a very violent way, and people have seen. And if at all they have labeled me and so and so, so and so, maybe they have seen, because in certain sequence, certain subject makes an artist violently react. And that may be the inner one. I told you in the Supta Prajna, like many things, atrocities, or the anti-social activities, all these things makes, because you don't want, given an opportunity, you may, and they have seen. And I represent many of this opinion of the people who see the film, who they appreciate, who they accept. And it is always, these are the image, because I was introduced from my first film as a dangerous man.
Okay.
You just leave him alone, he is all right.
Are you happy with that image?
Better, no? Sometimes. It is, they say, if you are good, he is very good. If you are bad, he is worst.
Okay.
So it's how you treat, what you should come with a proper conception of yours.
These days you spend a lot of time with your family, particularly with your grandchild.
Yeah.
And were you like that always, that you were more a homely man?
I'm more a home. Because the thing is, my problem is, I'm an extremist.
Okay.
If I stay at home, I don't feel like going out.
If you go
No,
out,
if I go out, I'll finish all my work and go home.
Okay. But is that one of the reasons why people have not been able to pull you into politics?
No, politics is not my cup of tea. Because I could understand, I could feel myself.
Okay.
But I don't have any of those qualifications which a politicians have.
That means that even in the future that you may not get into politics?
Unless the country will have Shishta Rajakriya, not Dushta Rajakriya.
But you think that's a possibility in this
Why
country?
not? When things have happened for the worst, because it is a circle, there's a revolution has to take place.
But why is it then in the last elections everybody was talking about you
It
contesting?
has always happened. Whenever the election comes, it has always happened.
But you also went into at least campaign for some of your friends.
Deepak, I always feel I'm a horse, free horse. I would like to go anywhere, sit, sleep, run around. I don't want a jockey to sit and make me run. I don't like it.
Okay.
I'm a free horse. And that's what I answered to recently a politician who asked me the same question.
Okay.
For somebody's whims and fancy,
Okay.
I don't allow a jockey to come, and for him it is the victory, but I'm losing my freedom.
But how do you react to probably that complaint some people have that, Vishnuvardhan has not done enough for Karnataka?
Maybe.
How do you understand that?
But I think when I have done anything to Karnataka is too big, because I'm too small a person. I am in the Karnataka, among the Kannadigas.
Okay.
I am not the one, no. Whenever
Is
the
it
opportunity
because that you kept yourself aloof sometimes?
Maybe.
You're non-controversial?
No, controversies, it has come in a different formation. But truth has won, I'm telling you.
Okay.
Because I always believe.
But there are times that some people really wanted you to make statements in some certain situations that took place.
Yes,
And
it is they who
you
made
kept quiet.
It is they who made a matter controversy, a person controversial, to make enmity. And it has not given, to me it never given me any displeasure, because I know what I am. because I value my self-consciousness. Who is the best friend? I keep him awake all the time. He keeps me perfect.
But you have admirers in all the other places as well.
They
as
have
you
accepted
have,
me, no?
You have admirers from all the other languages too.
Sure,
But you
yes.
certainly have a lot for Kannadigas, and Kannadigas also, feel that you are,
I'm
you are
born and
their
brought up
own.
here.
You are their own.
It's my mother tongue.
Yes. But do you think that it's a feeling that every actor should actually have, towards the community or the language that made him or her big?
You should, because it's a responsibility, the sheer responsibility,
Okay.
morality. Because the thing is, the cause has to be good.
Would it be wrong if then the people of Karnataka expect you to lead them in some direction sometimes?
No. If it is, see, I will tell you one thing. If it is politically attached or based, I'm the last person to go.
Okay.
Because politics, it's like a poisonous gas,
Okay.
Wherever, in whichever field it has come, it has destroyed.
Then if at all you don't want to directly get involved, but when things go wrong, at least then you can make
I have always
statements.
represented for the cause,
Okay.
not for the issue.
And your voice certainly will be respected all over the
So I
state.
should be very careful where I use my voice, where I use my personality, where I go as a person.
But you also told sometimes that, people only look at what you play on the screen. But many times people don't even know what you actually are. And for example, like what you stand for, what are your value systems and everything in your private life or in your personal life, not private life. That's nobody's business. But don't you think that, because probably the more you keep to yourself, that people will only have just an idea of their idol
No.
and not actually know who he is?
No, Deepak, actually I wait for an occasion, a chance, where I am required and where I'll be placed properly, and I don't want to hurt, because when an issue takes place, a lot of people, they are involved there.
Yeah.
And my cause is to solve the problem, not to create a problem.
Not to aggravate. Yes. What are your plans for your films, in the sense you will continue to act as long as time and God will allow you
I would like to retire gracefully, because my entry was very dynamic.
You want to...
I want to go gracefully, where people say they should miss me,
Okay.
they should feel me.
Okay.
That's the time I go off. I would like to.
Okay. Mr. Vishnuvardhan, thank you very much for having come to this show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To me, Naga's back on track. It's a very aggressive approach. Isn't that quick the way that Moodiness moved a foot?
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಲ ನನ್ನ ತಂಗಿ ಜೊತೆ ನೀನ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೀನಿರಲ್ಲ. ಅವನು ಯಾರೇ ಆಗಿದ್ರು ಅವ್ನು ಬಿಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನೇ ಬಂದು ಬಳಗ ನಾಯಿಲ ಹಿತೈಷಿನ ರಗೆ ಬಿಸೋಗಿ ಮಾತೊಂದ